Lori, one of the instructors in fashion design, and this is what, Lori? All of these things?
These are the supplies that our students receive in first year for their sewing kit, so that they can come in and do sewing at any time during the week.
So can you tell us about what is in the sewing kit?
Sure. There's a set of 3 screwdrivers that they can use for changing different screws on their machines, changing needles and that sort of thing. This is to assist them with threading. This is a cleaning brush for obviously cleaning the machine. A seam ripper.
So what do you use this for?
The seam ripper. The seam ripper is for taking out any stitches that might not be working for their specific sample or for their garment. These are snips, and you put the snips on through your fingers so you can clip threads with it. This is a corner turner, so if you need to poke out any corners or get into certain areas to push them out, you can use that. And you can also use this end to flatten any sewing samples that they're working on. Pack of needles, so if they need to change the needle in the machine, there's different needles in here. And then these are parts that go on the machine to make it sew. So these are all different presser feet. This one's for sewing a zipper. This is for an invisible zipper. It has little grooves in the bottom. This is the foot that they normally sew with. This is a specific one that has a guard on it so they can't hurt their fingers. And that's another one-sided zipper foot. As well, they have a ruler so they can measure, move this back and forth to get the correct seam allowance that they're using for their samples or for their garment. This is a finger guard. It sits over top of their feet so that way it protects their finger. And then they have bobbins that they thread to put inside of a bobbin case. That goes in the machine to work with the threading of the upper thread of the machine. So, and this is just to protect their snips when it's inside their pencil case that they get. And that's their whole sewing kit.
So really important tools of the job.
Yeah, and they use these for the 3 years that they're here.
Great. Excellent. Thank you, Lori.
You're welcome.
Sierra, a student at Fanshawe. Sierra, what program are you in?
I'm in fashion design. It's a 3-year diploma program.
Lovely. And tell us a little about the machinery and the things that you use in fashion design. What is this?
So this is an industrial sewing machine. It basically just works faster than a domestic sewing machine.
Good. And here?
And that's a spool of thread.
A spool?
Yeah, a spool, which means basically like it's a lot of thread wrapped around a tube.
Good, thank you. And on your sewing machine, what is that?
This is the needle that you spin your thread through, so then it punctures the fabric.
Good. And how do you make the sewing machine go?
There's a pedal at the bottom here, and what you do is you lift this with your knee, put the fabric under, and you just use the pedal and it will slowly go. Depending on how hard you put your foot down is how fast it would go.
So kind of like a car.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And what are you making?
Right now I'm making one of my pre-samples for my front neck of one of my garments. Ooh. So basically that's the front neck and then I have the panel through. So I just wanted to make sure that I knew how to sew it, so you just do a pre-sample of it.
Good. And what do you call the fabric that has many colors together like that?
This is just a printed fabric. It's kind of like a paint splatter. It goes with my theme, which is graffiti art. So that's basically, it's just a printed cotton.
Good. Thank you, Sierra. Good luck with your project. Hi, this is Morgan, one of our students at Fanshawe College. Morgan, which program are you studying?
I'm in the fashion design program at Fanshawe College. Right now I'm currently in my 6th semester, so my 3rd year.
Your 3rd year. And what kind of project are you working on now?
So right now I'm working on my capsule collection, which is something we do in the last year. So we spent last semester trend researching and looking at retailers, designing our collections, and now we're executing them into production.
Great. So can you just show us some of the things that you work with? And we're going to use this for vocabulary. So just in simple terms, Tell us what you have here in front of you.
So this is one of our industrial sewing machines.
Okay, so an industrial sewing machine.
Yep.
How is that different from a home sewing machine?
This one only has like the basic stitch, like going straight. It doesn't really do all those like zigzags and fancy stitches. It also goes a lot faster than a domestic, which is pretty awesome if you're trying to get done fast.
Good.
And then your foot pedal and everything is down here.
Okay, and what
Yeah.
do you use the foot pedal for?
This is just to, so instead of having all the machine doing like all buttons, this is all like manual. So to bring up your foot and everything that you gotta use your knee guard and you gotta switch all your buttons all by yourself and stuff.
All right, so you
Iron
use the
knobs.
foot to make the needle go.
Yep.
Yeah, and where's the needle on the sewing machine?
So we have a needle right here,
Uh-huh,
and you have your throat plate with all your foot and a finger guard.
uh-huh.
We have your eye cover too.
What's that for?
This is for safety reasons, just so we don't, if a thread breaks or needle breaks, you're not gonna get hit in the eye with anything.
Okay,
So we always make sure your safety first.
good. And what's that up there?
So up here we have the thread, and this is on our threader here, so it goes down the machine. Really neat. This one is specific to this machine, but this one is a little bit more computerized, where all other machines have the dials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. And tell us about your garment, your piece of clothing that you're making.
So right now this is going to be a pre-sample of a dress, so it's only half size, and this is made out of a silk crepe. So this is going to be career wear in the end.
So career wear means,
Like something you would wear to the office, more business wear. This is for somebody who lives in Toronto, more of a socialite, going to the office every day and having to wear something a little bit more professional.
okay.
Yeah.
And what color would you call that fabric?
This is, I would call this mauve. Mauve fabric.
Mauve.
Mauve.
Mauve, okay. And why are you making just a half size?
So
Garment.
first we start with our half size to get out any of the kinks, sewing wise and proportion wise, when we put it on the dress form to make sure it's fitting right. A good idea for doing it half size so you work out like any of the problems or stuff you would run into now instead of in your fashion fabric and your good quality one.
Good.
Yeah.
How long will it take you to make this dress?
This dress, we have probably, if I sat down and sewed it all, probably a week. But we have a few deadlines. So we have our first fitting, which is just a shell of the dress in 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks after that, we have to have our linings in with our models.
Good, good. So how did you come up with the idea for your particular dress?
We have a lot of trend research we have to do, so we look at different websites and we go to Toronto and just see what the retail stores are having and what they are seeing as trends. So after that, we have a huge design journal we work on for 14 weeks, and we journal and we sketch and you concept, and then you make a board, which is like all of your ideas compiled as one, and you just sketch off of that and just keep on going and going. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Now, after everything is finished and your dress is all done, and what happens to it?
So we, the third years, put on a show called Unbound in April. So
And
we
what
have,
kind of show?
so it's a huge fashion show, New York style. So we have a runway with industry judges, photographers, videographers. Everything is a big production we put on every year. So we have our 5 looks that go into that show. It's really exciting. The other semesters, you have a presentation to industry where you take your final garment you make at the end of the semester and you present it just to a small panel, like 5 judges, and then they adjust your collection. They give you great feedback and things that you can work on for next time.
That's
like
wonderful.
Praises, stuff. It's awesome. Yeah.
So you get lots of chance for people to see what you have created and give you their opinion
Yeah.
and their ideas
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
Now, after the Unbound fashion show, then what happens to your dress?
Then we can sell them if we want, or we can keep them as a sample to show for potential employers because it's a great portfolio piece. We do get photos back, we get videos back of the fashion show, and then so we can use those. They're a really good way to show your samples, like how you can construct garments and pattern make and stuff.
So after all is finished, a good way to get a job in the industry.
Yeah, definitely. They're great portfolio pieces.
Good, good. Excellent. Well, good luck, Morgan.
Thank you.
We hope your dress goes really well.
Yeah.
And thank you for telling us about it
Yeah,
today.
no problem. Anytime.